Hello, it's Saturday. I was meant to get up super early and start this, but I may have gone out last night and drank 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 too many whiskies. Learn your lesson, Steve. I'm here in the garage. It's a bit cold, but it's not too bad. The boards are set out. I've got 1 on the easel here. I've got another 4 over there. And I got my equipment. Nice big fat brush. Mini roller. I really should use a big roller, but I can't face washing the bloody thing out. They're a nightmare to wash it up. And emulsion. So I'm going to emulsion all of these boards to give them hopefully a nice finish. Then on top of that, I'll put the acrylic. The acrylic still hasn't got here, so I can do the acrylic today. Not my fault. Delivery's fault. So let's go and get this one done. I probably won't film all of this because it's just me whiting a board. Maybe I'll just show you this one and then I'll show you the aftermath. So, exciting times, undercoating. As I'm painting this, I mean that probably just looks like white tube, because I've got this OBS, oh what the hell is it called, OBS? It's not going to focus that close because it's white on white. It's OBS, as you see, is made up of lots of offcuts and stuck together, whereas plywood is strips laminated together. This is lots of, shaving laminated together. It's making me think in a different way because of the texture. It's going to give it nearly like a rustic quality, I guess, which is not something I anticipated because normally I paint on smooth stuff. Like this, MDF I usually use for live events. This isn't a live event, this isn't a piece of work that needs to be, nice and smooth. This is something that's going to be stuck to the side of a house. So I'm quite hopeful once I get the coat of acrylic over it, we're going to have a really interesting texture. So I'm going to have a texture without having to make texture. Look what I just found, within this board, there's a fucking great big bolt. Look. There, see it? Yeah, you can just about see it. Look, there's a bolt in the wood, which is unfortunate. Luckily, it is right near the edge, so I'm definitely going to have to mark that as do not paint here. It could be problematic. It could be very problematic. I keep thinking maybe I should go for plywood, and then I think, I kind of like this stuff. I like the texture, I like the roughness. But maybe plywood, you wouldn't have a fucking great big bolt in the middle of it. Done. May live to regret picking this board over plywood. I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty damn worried. It's just because I'm doing stuff I've never done before, so that's always going to be a worry. And that massive bolt in the middle of one. Fuck. I just couldn't find anybody to ask advice on who knew about this stuff. Maybe I should have asked my Facebook group. They seem to know most things. There we go, the boards are all undercoated. Now I'm just going to wait for the paint to come, give them all a couple of coats of emulsion, acrylic, and then get this thing underway. Good morning, it's 6:30 in the morning. I've just made up the final template for the drawing, which I maybe should have shown you, but I was too tired to do it. So here we go, I'll just show you on the computer quickly. What I've done is here, put that grid back in to the plane. So this is the final plane, and I put the grids, which are the metre by metre boards. On this one it's 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. Then I've cut this section out to make the section that the wood's going to go on. So there's the front, and now that one goes there, that one goes there. Where's the other body? And that one goes there. And so on. So you can see how the plane's going to be made up. Well, that doesn't look quite right, does it? That should be there. There you go. So that's how the plane's going to be made up out of the boards, metre by metre boards, bar this one here, which is 1.2, and then the rest. There's just that one there, which is the wing up there, and so on. So that's what's going to be painted on each board. This is the size of it. It's not going to be quite 4 metres because this bit here is not going to have anything on. So I think it's going to be a bit less than the 4 metres. Sorry. I reckon it's going to be about 3.8, something like that. There's not a lot there left over, probably at 200. But the back wing goes right to the edge. There you go, so that goes right to the edge there. So we're filling that up. So it's just the nose, it's got the less, but it will be that because it's just the nose. So anyway, that is how I propose on doing this thing. I'm going to paint them onto the boards and You know, hopefully that'll work. And now I need to get out of my dressing gown. Just testing out a bit of spray paint on the what's it called? OSB? OBS? I can't remember the name of that word ever. Because I've got so much left over, I could use this for the hearts. I was going to use nice smooth plywood for the hearts, nice and thin, but I may have to use this. I think this will be in vain and pointless, but we'll see. Well, that's answered quite easily. You can see it, it looks awful. It's dripping, it's not sticking, yeah, you can see the wood even better. So, plywood for the hearts, not this stuff. Supplies are finally here. So I thought I'd unbox them with you. Oh my god, it's heavy! Jesus Christ! There we go. Rubbish. Packing paper. Oh, put a lot here. Right, so here we have the chromacryl. This is the, what is it, 2 litres? Yep, 2 litres of white acrylic chromacryl. Got the Galleria, 1 litre of Mars Black. You've got one, the Traffic Red, white. Here we have the 2 paint pens, which are pretty big. I'll show you the nib. There's the nib for these ones, pretty fat, but that will be for touching up and doing some big fat lines, just to speed up the process a bit. So here we go again. I'm back out in the garage and I am now armed with acrylic paint. The boards have all dried. They're kind of alright. I'm actually better than I expected. You can still see some burning through. I don't think that's going to be a major issue. So we have got the chromacryl white acrylic, a little pot, and water spray. This is just in case it's a bit too thick, and big fat paintbrush. So I'm just going to water this down probably a bit. That looks pretty good. Might give that another touch. And we'll start. Yeah, that's a good consistency. So we've got sort of the consistency of single cream there. And now I'm going to paint the boards. Now this needs to go on there. Exciting. I'll show you a bit of the drawing now, hopefully. This is the scary bit. And once that's done, it's on to painting them, and then I'm going to cut them out. Then I'll be sealing the back, which will be with spray paint. Then we're on to the hearts. Good morning. I think in the last video I laid out a great plan of what I was going to do when. I think I was saying like, tomorrow I'll paint this, draw this, blah blah blah. Well, this is 2 days later and everything didn't go to plan. Why? Because we live in England and it's been too cold and the paint didn't dry on the boards. All those ones I undercoated and then acrylics didn't dry. They took ages and ages and ages to dry. So today I'm going to draw them all on. I'm going to try to film as much as I can of that, but I really need to concentrate. I cannot get it wrong. If I get it wrong, you know, if it all goes tits up, I won't be happy. So I've got the boards down here, so I can line them up, so I can see if they're all joining on. I'm going to draw it in pencil or a paint pen, maybe a bit of both. That's good. So today is drawing them, and hopefully it will all go to plan. If you can't tell, I've only just woken up. I got an email from David at the DELAMORE, and his idea of hanging, what we can do to hang them. He's thinking battens onto the wall, then screwing the plane, oh that's bad light, then screwing the plane onto the battens, which I think is the best idea. So I'm not going to batten anything up here, we'll do it all in situ, but I will need to talk to him about what battens I need. I am really not good at this woodwork stuff. These are my weapons of choice, and a few pencils. Wow. To say this is confusing is an understatement. My head is spinning. I've got 2 boards. You can kind of see the size of it now. So this is half of it. I've got some very rough outlines there, very rough markers. So now I'm just going to try to make this make more sense. I've got to keep them. I was going to do all of them at the same time, but I think I've got to get them to line up. So, I'll film this bit because I've got the mapped lines, which is where I had to really concentrate. so there it is. That's that. The first two mapped out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. Right, onwards that way. Okay, nearly there. The last one's, that's the wing. Just try to figure out, you can't see that, it's a bit dark. And now it's getting the three to line up, which is going to be difficult. So there we go, we have 1, 2, 3, wing, nose. It's big. So now I need to draw these two properly and make everything line up. By the way, do you like my trousers? I am not a chef, yet my mother thought I would like them for a birthday present. I don't know. Just trying to get the wing to line up, so I laid it down like that, and the wing's on this bit, and I'm hoping it'll just flop in this one to fit in there. And hope and pray it fits. Oh, it's a bit off, but it's not too bad. I don't know, so you can see my pencil line there. There you go, you can just see it. So it's a touch off, not very much. This side's okay though. So now I'm just going to draw that in without breaking my neck. You know, I've taken out the American emblem and replaced it with my arrow. Egotistical. There you go. That's it. All drawn up. Right, I'm going to lay it out so we can see how ridiculously big this thing's going to be. Okay, ready for this? This is mad. Oh dear. This is it. I can't even get close to it. There we go. That's how long the plane's going to be. Minus the wing, which has got to be there. I can't really give you a comparison to let you see how big it is. Well, that's a bit of A4 paper there. So, we'll go along it. Wing, middle body, with the main wing. Sorry, that's the tail. Now along to the nose. Oh, let's get nice and high. So that's how big this thing is. 4 meters. That's huge. Oh dear. So now on to painting it, which after that should be pretty simple because it's just painting in the work's been done now. Wow, this thing is going to be big.